Yo, what is up guys? It is Samool back again with another Epic 7 video for you guys today, and we're finally free from exam season, so I'll be back to more frequent uploads and try to put more effort into the videos that I'm releasing. That being said, before we get started with this video guys, if you guys aren't already subscribed to my channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button as well as follow me on Twitch, because in the near future, starting probably next week or the week after, we will be streaming more often on Twitch, playing more Epic 7 and also trying out some other gacha games and other games of other sorts as well, just to connect with you guys and the community. That being said, let's talk about the video today. So we're going to be talking all about Yulha. If you guys didn't know, Yulha is a new character that is released into Epic 7, not a collab unit, not a limited unit of any sort, even though she really looks like one. She's just a regular unit. She'll be running for 2 weeks, and I do have a video talking about my first impressions of her. That being said, we're just going to be talking about what I think is the best build, her best usages, what artifacts you want to use on her, and if she's worth investing into. So that being said, right off the bat guys, let's talk about what Yulha does with her abilities. So her S3 is a single target attack, and when you kill an enemy with this, you will recover your own HP. Now when you're not attacking a boss monster, damage sharing effects are ignored, such as Aureus, Blood Moon Haste's damage sharing effects. Anything that will, reduce damage will be ignored, even not proof of valor, but anything that reduces damage for the, team as a whole. This will penetrate defense, but cannot crit. So it's very, very similar to Krau's S3. This will deal damage proportional to your lost HP, and you'll also heal when you kill an enemy proportional to your own max HP, and you can also soul burn this for an extra turn. Very, very similar to Krau's S3, guys. You can even, it's actually just like exactly the same, besides the fact that instead of a barrier, if you kill an enemy, you'll actually heal. So it's very, very strong. You're going to see why this is very good for a kit when we talk about her other skills and what she'll be used in. And her S2 is a passive ability, and when you're attacked by a single attack, you will reflect 30% of the damage suffered to the attacker. Very, very cool. And keep in mind the reflected damage cannot be higher than your own max HP. Doesn't really matter too much with that effect. And keep in mind when you're attacked, when your HP is 30% or less, this will activate after being attacked. You will cleanse yourself of all the debuffs and activate Murderous Intent. So Murderous Intent is a barrier to yourself for 3 turns. It's very, very long. The barrier strength will increase with your own HP, and Yulha is a knight, so you're going to see that she's very, very bulky on my build. So the barrier will be very, very thick. You'll also see her push herself by 25%. Next, we have her S1. So yeah, similar to Krau's S1 as well. You have a provoke, except this goes up to 100% if you mull this all the way. I did not mull it, but I do recommend mulling this to +4 because the 100% chance is very, very nice. Works very similar to FCC, except you're going to make it redirected provoke. And this damage will also increase proportional to your max HP. So this actually does pretty decent damage for a knight, you're going to see. So yeah. Yulha, very, very strong kit. You're going to see it's very similar to Krau, right? Her S3 is pretty much identical. You're going to see that her S2, although it doesn't have a AoE defense buff like Krau does, which is arguably better and more utility, it has a way to make her more sustainable because she has a cleanse for herself, a barrier, and a CR push. And she also has that, very similar provoke ability on her S1, although it is redirected. But this does do more damage than Krau's S1 and also has a 100% chance instead of a 75% chance. So yeah, she's very, very comparable to Krau. Krau usually you see as a earth bait. Yulha, since she's a earth unit, you're going to actually see her as a fire bait, which is very, very helpful in a meta that is run dominantly by Hwayoung. You're going to see that her kit kind of was released to, kind of counter Hwayoung as a whole, because yeah, basically what happens is that she baits Hwayoung's S3 in Guild Wars. Obviously in World Arena, guys, it's not as good because people just won't attack your Yulha, but Hwayoung will go into your Yulha in Guild Wars or Arena because it is AI, and you take less damage from single target. You'll not take less damage, but you'll reflect it. And also, when you're dropped low enough, which Hwayoung's S3 will do if she's not geared very poorly, you will cleanse yourself, you'll give yourself a fat barrier, and you'll also CR push yourself by 25%. This is very, very important because you're going to be very low, you're going to get all these effects off, and then it'll become your turn because you CR push yourself, and then you'll be low enough to S3 into the Hwayoung and pretty much one-shot her, right? Now this, does a lot of damage, and you'll most likely kill the Hwayoung, or you can, target another unit with it and kill that unit for free, and you'll be recovered to full HP, and then Hwayoung's S3 is down, and she'll just keep going into your Yulha, and Yulha will just continuously reflect back onto the Hwayoung. So I know it sounds very confusing, but basically what will happen, and I'm going to showcase this in another video, probably tomorrow or the day after in Guild Wars, you're going to see that Yulha will tank Hwayoung's S3, it'll become her turn, you just one-shot someone with your S3 heal to full, and then you basically won the battle in Guild Wars. Her S1's very nice because over longer periods of time, you're just going to be really annoying with the provoke and just make it so that she's pretty much unkillable. Just a very, very powerful unit in my opinion for Hwayoung counters, mostly for Guild Wars and Arena. In World Arena, I don't think she'll be that good. Probably, not usable at all, to be honest, because she's easy to ignore. But in areas of content where AI is very involved, such as Guild Wars and Arena, I think she'll be a very, very good unit. For PvE, I don't think she'll be used at all because, like I said, her kit is mostly designed to counter a PvP unit, so she won't really be used in PvP, in my opinion. Maybe used in like Ancient Inheritance as a tank with her Reflect, but we'll see. Now let's talk about her build, her stats, and what artifacts you want to run on her. So my Yulha, guys, is not the best. She has 2 pieces of purple gear. Like, the stats on some of the gear is very, very crappy. But the reason I have this way is because I had to put her on lower speed gear. Initially, when I made her really, really good, or at least in my opinion, very good stat-wise, I found that I was going to be too fast and was most likely going to go before Hwayoung's in some cases if they weren't geared fast enough. So I had to give her some of my crappy gear so that she actually was slow enough to not go before Hwayoung, because she needed to tank the Hwayoung S3 first in Guild Wars. So yeah, I think you're going to want to run her on speed set for sure because you want her to be fast enough. Counter set isn't really that great even though you have a provoke, because you're mostly there just to tank the Hwayoung S3 and then get your S3 off. Immunity set is a bonus. You can honestly run her on probably like HP set or defense because you actually cleanse yourself after Hwayoung goes into you if you get low enough. But yeah, I have mine on immunity set for some reason because it just fits. But honestly, HP set or defense set will probably be better. You can even run her on a broken set as well, and she should be fine. For stats, I think you want to aim for around like 190, 200 speed, so she's not faster than Hwayoung's. And then everything else, guys, goes into HP and defense. She needs no other stats. Similar to Crow, although you don't even need effect resist on Yulha because she has that cleanse for herself. Effectiveness can be nice in some cases. If you want to aim for 100% effectiveness, if you find that you're living through Hwayoung's damage regardless, then you can aim for 100% to get that, provoke off on some Soul Weavers in the meta, like Amelia and stuff like that. But for the most part, guys, you can just aim to make sure that she's slower than the Hwayoung on the enemy team for Guild Wars or Arena, and also just as bulky as possible to live, but not being too bulky to the point where you're not proccing your S2 and not start pushing yourself with that cleanse. So yeah, that being said, for artifact, guys, there's only really one or 2 options. I'd say that her own artifact is the best because it will give you a barrier at the start of the turn, and when you're attacking with a single attack, you'll also do extra damage, which is very, very good for S3. And the barrier strength will also increase proportional to your max HP. You can also run like Aureus or whatever if you want to mitigate damage for your team, but I find that her own artifact is the best for one-shotting with her S3. There's not really too many other replacements. This artifact is just very, very powerful on herself because it just works very, very well with her S3's damage. For Mulagora, guys, and for Awakenings, obviously you want to Awaken in everything because she is a PvP unit. You just want every single stat that you can. You're just missing out on free stats. Where is there? I think our 6th stone is here. So you're going to be missing out on some speed, very, very important. And the base stats are very nice for giving her extra boost from her gear. And for Mulagora, guys, you definitely want to max out her S3 for the damage. And then honestly, for her S2 and S1, you don't really need any Mola into them. But if you do want to use her in more situations, then I guess you can get her S1 to +4, like I said. Her S2 is not really necessary in my opinion, but it is nice if you want to guarantee that CR push. That she will always go first after a Hwayoung goes. But I think, her S3 definitely +5. And then after that, you don't really need anything. You can, I guess, like +4 S1 though, and it is fine. But yeah, Yulha, guys, it's been not too long since she's been released. I think for the most part though, she's only really going to be really good in like Guild Wars and for Arena as a bait unit, especially a fire bait unit. For right now, she's very good against Hwayoung. If there's another good fire unit that is run on defense a lot, then you might use her against those units as well. But for now, primarily a Hwayoung counter. In World Arena, it's too easy to play around her, so I don't think she's that great. She's kind of like I said, like a Earth Crow. Even though Crow, I think, is more versatile, I think Yulha does counter some units better, such as Hwayoung, that is running rampant in the current Guild Wars World Arena meta right now. So yeah, that being said, Yulha, I think she's a pretty cool character. I pulled her for a design, and I kind of wanted another Hwayoung answer for Guild Wars, especially because I don't really play World Arena too much anymore, because I'm not really a big fan of the meta. Maybe I'll start playing after they change Battle Frenzy, because right now it's just a speed race every single game, and then we'll see if I actually start playing again. But for the most part, I think Yulha is a pretty cool unit. I think she's fun to use. I don't think she's like super broken or even like very, very strong by any means, but I think she is a decent counter to Hwayoung, and I think she is worth pulling for if you are struggling a lot against Hwayoung and you don't really play World Arena that much and you're more concerned about Guild Wars and regular Arena. That being said, guys, I hope this video helps you guys out, and I'll be back with more videos in the future soon, and as well as be streaming on Twitch in the near future. We'll be trying out some other gacha games and also playing Epic 7 as well. See you guys next video, and thanks for supporting me as always. Peace.